So hello everyone, welcome to We Robotics and Flying Labs Network webinar series. And thank you for joining us today. My name is Oyanga. I'm Flying Labs Community Coordinator, and I will be hosting today's webinar. And today we will be featuring Dominican Republic, Côte d'Ivoire, and Panama Flying Labs activities. And in order to ensure the good quality of the webinar, we decided to pre-record their presentations. And at the end of the webinar, we will have live question and answer session with our speakers who are present with us today. And before I start the presentations, I would like to give a short introduction about what we do at We Robotics and Flying Labs for those who are not familiar with our work. So today, given the mounting challenges that are rising from new technologies, the real question that we face is whether we will end up creating shared prosperity or increased concentration of wealth for a few only. And technology itself isn't going to create shared prosperity. We in We Robotics believe that the people will decide through inclusive and democratic fourth industrial revolution. So our #1 priority is the local. We believe in the power of local. This means we invest in local experts, local engineers, and local leaders. It's to ensure that social challenges are solved efficiently and sustainably by the local experts who are actually best placed to address these challenges. They have the skills and technologies to do a lot more and a lot faster. And we do this by globally co-creating flying labs, which are local knowledge hubs that are run entirely by local experts who we train, equip, and support as needed. We have built the core infrastructure to enable these flying labs to become self-sustaining. Currently, we have flying labs in more than 20 countries. And flying labs also train each other and create ecosystems that connect key actors in government, industry, and other sectors. And we have built this global network of 25 flying labs in just 2 years. All of this driven by the massive local demand. So we want to continue supporting our local partners and this demand for more equal, inclusive opportunities for local leaders. And we also want to invest in hundreds of local leaders across hundreds of local flying labs, engaging in thousands of projects and improving the lives of millions of people. So now I will start with Dominican Republic Flying Labs presentation. Could you, everyone, put themselves on mute?
Hello, good morning. So very thankful for the Hello, good morning. So very privileged and honored to be here with you. My name is Orlando Perez from DR Flying Labs, DR as in Dominican Republic Flying Labs, and I am the Flying Labs coordinator. I will be sharing with you what we have been doing for the last year and the plans that we have as far as 2020. So looking back on how we actually got involved with robotics and flying labs, this all started back in 2017, where we were executing this project called Drones for Help, where we were introduced by some friends from the Inter-American Development Bank to our collaborators from Robotics, basically looking for scenarios of collaboration, of needs that we had at that moment to try to identify key partners and key technology to run this project, which was basically sending medical samples and medical goods in between rural clinics and hospitals in the outskirts of the Dominican Republic. So that's where we got to meet our friends from Robotics, and within the plan of the project, we had anticipating the initiating operations of the Drone Innovation Center, and that's where we found that it was pivotal to actually have the DR Flying Labs affiliation within that scope. So that's where we started, and that's where we are as far as today. A bit about myself. I'm a self-made entrepreneur, studied computer science back in 1989, opened up a whole bunch of businesses, real estate, car businesses, car dealership, car wash, retails, and so on. Did that for 15 years. Then I was encouraged into participating in a specific entrepreneurship development program in the Dominican Republic, ran the business incubator at Cyber Park, where we are located right now, went to government for 9 years, developing a program for the Ministry of Higher Education, teach a bit in universities and so on. And then in 2016, under the scope of the project that I just had anticipated, the Drones for Health project, was my first interaction with drones and just blew my mind, and that's where I am now. I'm totally hooked on the drone scenario. So as far as DR Flying Labs, we definitely concentrate our efforts for DR Flying Labs in these four areas. Definitely Drones for Good is something that draw our attention, and we very much encourage and foster that idea that solutions from addressing specific pressing issues in the Dominican Republic and global problems can be solved or mitigated with the use of drones. We definitely want to encourage and empower local entrepreneurs and startups that already have some progress in their own businesses locally, but need a little pushback or push forward from us, and we're definitely going to be interacting with them. We are definitely prepared to address local problems and find local solutions for them. And then we are definitely encouraged into fostering and promoting the whole ecosystem of the next generation of dronepreneurs, those individuals that are out there looking for help, making sure that they can scale up their local businesses, and we are there for them, definitely. As far as projects, as I had anticipated, that project that initiated back in 2016, in which we were testing drones for the deliveries of medicines and lab samples between the outer skirts of the Dominican Republic, connecting basically rural clinics and municipal hospitals. And that project just ended just a couple of weeks ago. The problems that we were trying to address and that we did address within this project was that in many occasions, these local rural clinics run out of essential medicines at the end of the month, meaning that beneficiaries walk into these rural clinics and do not find the medicines that they need. In these locations as well, there is no lab testing. So they would have to either drive down or take whatever means of transportation to go to the bigger cities and do lab tests. And this is something that unfortunately does not happen very occasional. And then the cost of local transportation for resupplying these clinics is very high. So the drone should have been addressed to see if there was a solution for that. So since 2018, with robotics and with DR Flying Labs, we carried out a whole bunch of pilot flights testing this new means of transportation. Very successful. We were basically addressing 4 major challenges. We first needed to identify and test platforms, so we tested either the fixed wings or the multicopters and so on. We needed to make sure that we had in place an autonomous system that would work, that was very simple, and that the health staff in these locations could actually operate and run by themselves. Another challenge that we had was identifying finding and identifying and encouraging local drone operators to learn from this, to receive the training and make sure that we have local capacity in situ when needed. And then our biggest challenge at the end was having precision landing in small areas. Again, these clinics are quite small, and we need to make sure that the drones were able to take off and land in small constricted areas, and we did achieve that. We were able to have 131 flights under the umbrella of We Robotics and DR Flying Labs. The last 101 flights that were in July 2019 were 100% successful, fully autonomous, no incidences, and so on. So we are very proud of the numbers that we achieved very recently. And then for that, we had a quite robust set of training that needed to be for these individuals that were taking this this task in having this network of drones connecting to rural clinics. So we had classroom trainings from the staff that came in from We Robotics. We were able to encourage no less than 10 drone pilots that came from either various institutions, government and non-governmental institutions of the Dominican Republic. They all received the training, not only in classroom, but also within the Drone Innovation Center to make sure that they had a hands-on experience with the technology that they were going to be using. So, and then we actually had a whole bunch of training in the field just to make sure that before the staff of We Robotics left the country, we had that local capacity to solve the problems by ourselves, which was, again, very successful. Then as far as our achievements, we were pushing for the agenda of having the inauguration of the Drone Innovation Center. We needed that hub to make sure that our program, DR Flying Labs, had a place to be, and had a place to be not only physically, but where all was happening. So again, mid-year, we were able to inaugurate the Drone Innovation Center, and this is where DR Flying Labs is hosted. Another big achievement that we had very recently, we just ended the Drones for Health project, and we were just awarded with another yet bigger project funded by Inter-American Development Bank, in where we're going to be promoting the use of drones for inspection and supervision of infrastructure. This project, which is a regional project, we're going to be having this run also in Bolivia and Panama, gives us again the opportunity not only to have funding for all the anticipated outcomes for the project, it also gives us presence in the regional scenario. And we are very much encouraged with also participating and having the participation of DR Flying Labs from Panama that most likely is going to be participating in the project, and we're looking into finding partners as well for Bolivia. And then finally, what we have for 2020, looking for the value proposition and the uniqueness of DR Flying Labs, we had been receiving numerous emails and calls from relevant partners in the Dominican Republic, specifically from universities, that wanted to have something to do with us, that wanted to have their own programs within their universities. So we are basically rolling out this new phase in which we're going to be having University DR Flying Labs. We have identified 3 specific universities that have mechatronics schools, engineering schools. They're going to be having their own DR Flying Labs affiliate program, most likely as a robotics or a drone club. And key students from these 3 universities are going to be also participating within the DR Flying Labs programs that we have up and running. And something I think needs to be addressed also is how do we encourage more young women, women, girls in these programs. Unfortunately, it's less than 10% that we're seeing in the universities, and we're looking at how we're going to be addressing this, I would say, problem. And I think that having robust programs that can encourage young women in this scenario is something that we're going to be doing within these universities as well. So this is it. Thank you for your time. I feel free to please reach out to me and provide with any feedback and comments or suggestions for that. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope to hear from you very soon.
So, hi everybody. So today we will talk about Côte d'Ivoire Flying Labs, so what we are doing at Côte d'Ivoire Flying Labs. My name is Karim Aboubacar, so I will do the presentation. I'm the Managing Director of Côte d'Ivoire Flying Labs. So, as a summary, we will introduce the Flying Labs first. After, I will introduce myself. We will talk about our main goal and expertise. We will talk about our spring drone project. We initiate a training with high school girls, so we will talk about Fly Girl Academy, which is the name of this training. We will talk about our main achievement in the year, and we will introduce our future project. So Côte d'Ivoire Flying Lab is represented by Investive, an Ivorian company specializing in agtech. It was created in October 2018. So now we have a team composed by 3 trained drone pilots, 1 agronomist, and 1 project manager. We are located in Abidjan, the economic capital of Ivory Coast. So as myself, my name is Aboubacar Karim, and I'm the Managing Director of Côte d'Ivoire Flying Labs and CEO of Investive. So I have a background in agriculture. So I founded a startup specialized in the use of precision agriculture to support smallholder farmers here in Ivory Coast, and I study in agricultural economics at Laval City in Quebec City in Canada, and after that I come back in my country to start launch the Investive, so the startup in by the end of 2016. So this is our team. So myself, Clara Tesler, which is project manager, Emma Dion, who is drone pilot and trainer, and Moussa Bamba, who is drone pilot and trainer also. We educate communities as every flying lab on the benefit of drone, and we promote drone technology for social good. Our background is naturally in agriculture. We also organize project pilots in different areas, including forest preservation, humanitarian, and development. So let's talk about our spraying drone project. So we did a pilot project with Olam Seco, which is the one of the leading cotton buyer in Côte d'Ivoire. So Olam supply machinery to farm in order to help them to have good yield. So now we come to them and introduce spraying drone to them, and they say, okay, let's do a project pilot to see the advantage of drone compared to other spraying methods. So we did it from June to October, so nine different spraying by drone on cotton. So we take a measurement of the comparison of drone, and the conclusion was interesting. And now we will work on how to put those technology at the disposition of smallholder farmers in the years to come. And during the demonstration, we also invitate smallholder farmers in order to show them how a drone can be helpful for them. How drone can be helpful for them. So let's talk about Fly Girl Academy. So we train high school girls from June to August. Training focus on drone technology with workshop and also field visit to drone organization in Abidjan, which was really appreciated because they have the opportunity to see in practice drone professional working. And also this training was the objective was to show them the job opportunities in drone industry in the years to come, and also help them to understand more and more what is drone. Yeah. So we did it in collaboration with Aboubacar City Hall and DEA, an NGO focused on technology education for high school girls. So we also did a project in order to introduce the drone technology in the cocoa certification process. So Côte d'Ivoire is the largest cocoa producer in the world, and for cooperative to get certified is very important because it helps them to sell at a good price. So we introduced drone technology to 40 cooperatives in order to help them to get certified, and this was really interesting. And the next year we will work with exportators to help them to certify, because exportators are also buyers, so they buy from they prefer now to buy from certified cooperatives. So now we will show the advantage of drone, because drone can be, now they use GPS, the drone can be complementary tool to GPS. So for our future project, we will initiate a project called Farming Takes Flight. So it's a session of different training in several cities in the north of Ivory Coast. So we plan to train agricultural professionals who are members of the cooperative, in order to train them, in order to help them to promote drone technology with smallholder farmers easily. Yes, so this is a big project. We are working on that. We already did the concept note, and we're looking for partners for this project. Now we also have a workshop in November with the World Bank for Understanding Risk West and Central Africa Conference. So it will be interesting because we will do workshop and also do demonstration for drone mapping with attendees to this conference. And at the end, our last feature project is about training with the student of the geography faculty in Ivory Coast. So the geography faculty have interest in drone technology. So now we'll start to train the students of this faculty. Yes. So as a conclusion, I can say that this first year in Côte d'Ivoire was full of interesting challenge. Our local community have seen the benefits of drone technology when it's used for the social good, and I think that in 2020 we are more determined to do more and initiate collaboration with other flying labs in Africa. For example, we plan to do more collaboration with Senegal Flying Lab or Sierra Leone Flying Lab, for example. So thank you very much, and if you have questions, do not hesitate.
What a pleasure. We are Panama Flying Labs, talking about the power of local. I will present you our lab. Panama Flying Labs is an initiative that first reached the City of Knowledge in Panama and paved the way to Senacit, and finally reached where we are located today, the Technological University of Panama. Inspired in the use case already presented by other flying labs and the idea proposed by We Robotics, the BIT Lab said yes to this initiative, and we opened and start operations last year, looking for local opportunities to present the importance of the power of local and the data analysis. My name is Dania Montenegro. I'm the project coordinator at the lab. Who we are? It's a pleasure for me to be part of the team. I'm a nautical engineer whose internal desire and goal 3 years ago was to work for the community benefits. And thanks to the lab, and to this regional network, today my dream came true. It's real, and today I can encourage with equity and inclusion the power of robotics for social good. Oh, Yuyanga, we have to stop this. Yuyanga, our staff mainly is located at the UTP, the Technological University of Panama. And as you may see, our main manpower are students. This is a very interesting group of students, of engineers that are dedicated with passion as pilots and data analysts in the data analysis. If you ask us about our main goal as labs, we have two main goals. The first one is to catalyze the social good with equity and inclusion through the robotics. And we want to be a hub for America toward robotics as a certified training center. If you ask us about our expertise, of course, being in a university, one of our expertise is the education, and we think that our second expertise is the project implementation. And in this line, talking about the projects, let me present you the most interesting project we consider we have developed this year. In this picture, you can find a Lora turtle. Our project, the name of this project is, in Spanish, Uso de drones con sensores térmicos para el monitoreo de las playas de anidación de las tortugas. In English, the use of drones with thermal camera for monitoring the nesting of turtles at the beach. It's important to explain, first of all, that in Panama we have coast in both sides. And we receive more than 4 different species of turtles all over the world. So the nesting period, the nesting season in Panama is very important, and we have a good amount of groups that are engaged in monitoring this process. In this particular case, this project was developed at the Pacific coast at the province named Veraguas, the specific name of the region, Playa Mata Oscura. The main proposers of this project were two: Latin Drones, a private company that is engaged in giving service, local service, with the use of drone and data analytics. And on the other hand, Marviva, an NGO engaged in the ocean conservation. And what is interesting here is that a lot of different companies with different interests decide to say yes for a common challenge, for a common goal, and is to benefit the monitoring procedure actually developed by a local foundation named Fundación Agua y Tierra. They are located at Mata Oscura. And the main challenge was to demonstrate the benefits of surveying the beach with a remote pilot aircraft instead of going by walk. And you know that going by walk means to be exposed to several dangers. The results were clear and good. You can see here, an image can talk more than words. You can recognize the ocean, the volunteers, the main predators that are the dogs, the turtle in the nesting procedures, the track of the turtle over the sand. It was a good result that we can share with the community, and we can, and it's a project that can be duplicated in other areas. Is a model that can be implemented in other areas, in different beaches all over Panama. Remember, we have coast both sides. And we have a very interesting season for the turtle nesting. And it was developed this year. And in this same line, talking about this project, the most important result is that we can train the people. We can generate this power of local through trainings. And then here we switch to workshops, but they are related also. You can see here in the right corner, a student from our lab teaching a volunteer from the staff of Mata Oscura how to use the drones for monitoring, how to empower, and a woman is being taught. Down, you can see in the other corner, we just went in November to El Salvador, Jiquilisco Bay, in the 6th Forum of Mangrove they developed. We were invited to talk in the event, and the day after, we celebrate a workshop, one-day workshop, where more than 5 organizations receive a training in using the drone as a tool for collecting the data in order to monitor and establish the baseline of their mangrove. And this was very interesting. They were very excited to receive this training and to consider this technology to be included in the implementation of their near future projects. Talking about our main achievements until today, in our 1.5 years, we have 20 local and regional organizations already trained. We have 95 institutions that have access to knowledge transference, outputs, and activities. We have 2 innovative solutions already developed that has environmental and social benefits. And we have 30 female trained as pilots or data analysts. If we talk about the future, our agenda in the near future, we are working in a very interesting entrepreneurship program guided by We Robotics. We will develop our second version of our call to find the new innovation solutions to be developed, to support them. We just present our diplomate program to be authorized by the university, and we will continue working in the extension of the regional network at Central America. Thanks a lot. This is Panama Flying Labs. You are welcome. Any information you need, you can follow us in our social media. Thanks.
Thank you all for following our webinar. So we are now at the end of our presentation. So I'm opening up the microphone if anyone has a question for one of our speakers. Please feel free to unmute yourself and ask your questions, or if you have also any comments. All right, so I suppose then we are all good. If you have questions later on, also please feel free to reach out to us by email or on social media. And thank you again for joining our webinar today. I wish you everyone a great day ahead.